Hey curious kids, Kevin here. Today on A Place Called Space, we have a very special video for you. We are at Craters of the Moon National Monument and Preserve in Idaho. So we're going to tour it and I'm going to teach you some stuff about science. All right, everybody, first stop on this Craters of the Moon National Monument and Preserve hike is to the Inferno Cone. So we're going up a pretty steep incline here for approximately it's like a quarter mile. Not too bad. You could even walk it backwards. All right, let's go check out the top. This is not a volcano. Look around. No. So these are cones. They are not volcanoes themselves. They did not erupt. Lava did not come spewing out of here and form this cone. Actually, for Craters of the Moon National Monument, it is like a 50 mile long volcano. What? That's right, so it's like a long, thin volcano that has vents that come up out of it. So it's not a big volcano like you'd normally think of. Little vents along the way, and these cones are the result of what happens after one of these vents spews out. All right, so spatter cones are different than cinder cones. Spatter cones happen when the vent opens up and then glops of lava shoot out, and then they like weld together to form these types of cones that we see here. Now a cinder cone, so there's spatter cones and cinder cones. And we just talked about what a spatter cone is. So a cinder cone is the same kind of thing. When there's an opening, there's a vent, and there's a lot of hot gases that come out of the vent. And what that is that's the cinder that accumulates around those vent holes, and so we get the cones of cinder. So cinder is the hot gases, and the spatter cones, that's the lava. So how does Craters of the Moon National Park, what does that mean to space? Well, look out here. So this is lava flow fields. So it's cooled lava, so it's basalt. And we see that same thing on the moon. So what's really important is for astronauts, right? So the Apollo 14 astronauts came here and trained in 1969 to prepare for their moon landing. Now, astronauts aren't geologists. Some could be, but they're engineers and other types of scientists. So they came here to learn with the geologists on what would be the best way to sample some of the lava rock that's on the moon to bring it back and to keep those samples pristine. In 1969, Apollo 14 astronaut Alan Shepard came here with his team to train with the geologists to learn how to collect the prime samples that they were going to be finding on the moon. Because the basalt rock here is very similar to what we see on the moon. So that's why we come here and train. We also train in Hawaii that has lava fields like this too. And now you're wondering, well, what about Mars, maybe? Yes, so Mars also has lava flow fields that are kind of like this. So we have teams of scientists and engineers that come here and test the rover's equipment and some of the instruments. So if we're wanting to sense some of the rocks that are out there, we can practice here on Earth before sending it all the way out to Mars to see if it works. We can test all of our equipment here to make it work perfectly. Now on to trivia. The answer to last week's question of what do you call two stars in the same system is B, binary. Binary stars are two stars that are orbiting each other in the same system. Now on to this week's trivia question. This week's question is, how many people have walked on the moon? Is it A, 1, B, 4, C, 10, or D, 12? Tune in next week to get your answer. Always be curious.